Yo, what's up, everybody? This is your Coach Renz, and I want to say good morning and welcome to nature. Listen, what we're going to talk about today, coming into this Valentine's Day time frame. Now, I know we're not debating on whether or not it's a real holiday and who St. Valentine's was and all that kind of stuff. That is beside the point and doesn't even matter. What we're talking about right now is relationships and being present in your relationship. But I want to talk about one specific divisive thing that is keeping most people, a lot of people, from being present in their relationship. And that is that dang on phone, social media. That's what's keeping you from being present in your relationship. You know, I'm sitting out here in nature, right? And a tree just fell behind me. I don't know if you guys heard it, but a tree just fell. But I'm present in the moment, and I heard the tree. Even though I'm shooting this video, I heard the tree and I'm present in the moment. Before I shot this video, I sat here for a little while and I watched a bright red cardinal and his dull red female mate. That's how I know there was a couple, because one's male, one's female. And I watched them toiling away, you know, gathering food because the rain has uncovered, you know, nutrients. So I'm watching them gather their food and go back up to their nest. And I'm watching this other little bitty bird that kept flying around. And I'm noticing the brown leaves that are surrounding me and the green leaves. And I'm noticing that on each one of these trees that don't have any leaves, that on the smaller vines, the smaller branches, that there's little pieces of dewdrop water that's just hanging from each one of them. You know, I'm noticing the sound of the water of the stream because I'm being present. I was present in the moment of where I am. I took some time to be present. I took some time to meditate in the beauty of this nature, to smell air that is not polluted by car exhaust. I took some time to do that. And I think about when I go out, I'm out and about my day, and I see couples all day. Me and Shay went to an event Saturday, and when we had a break from each other, meaning I went to the bar or one of us went to the restroom, I noticed the couples that are in this electrified environment. And they're all doing this. They're doing this. Now that I'm not in my store all day, I go to Starbucks sometimes, I go to other coffee houses, and when I see couples come in and they don't have laptops, they're not doing work, they're just out enjoying their day, and they sit down and they start doing this. Or they're playing a game. My sister had a birthday and family gathered at a restaurant, and while we were at the restaurant, when there was breaks within, go to the restroom, whatever, everybody's ordering, so I'm looking at the other couples in the restaurant. They're all doing this. Driving down the street, I see people in the cars together. Could be couples, maybe not, I don't know, but they're driving down the street together. The one in the passenger seat, and the one that disturbs me the most is the one that's in the driver's seat. That dude swerved at me today. But that's what I'm seeing. And it breaks my heart, to be honest. It breaks my heart because it shows that we have another divisive thing that's going to break up families. It's going to break up relationships. You know, it is hard enough to be present in the relationship that you're in without this. And maybe some people will say that this is just an outward symbol, an outward activity that demonstrates the inattentiveness of the person in the relationship. Some psychologists would say that, and I might agree with them. But it is also something we've been learning. We've got addicted to. You see, I talk about how we create habits all the time. And if you're a single person, then of course you can do this all day. This is your mate right now. You spend so much time doing this. That's your man, your woman, that's your chick, that's your dude. Because that's what you're doing all day anyway. Here's the problem with that. When you get with somebody, when you start dating somebody, you will still do this. You will still pick that thing up. Look at it, do that, put it down. Yeah, talk to the person, say a few words, blah, 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 blah. And then some of you even go as far as to pick it up and be able to do this. Yeah, I know. I see that. Oh, did you see this right here? I don't care about what this is. I came here to talk to you. I'm trying to be present with you. I'm not trying to be present with this. You is who I'm dating, not this. I don't care about this. Now, this has its place. It has its place. I'm not saying that you can't be together and y'all can't look up stuff and can't go through something. Sure, it has its place. But all too often when you're on a date, that has no place. If you're together, living together, married, whatever, and the first thing you do is, there's a problem. If you haven't seen each other all day and the first time you see each other, and that's a problem. Because what you are saying to the other person, whether you like it or not, whether you agree with it or not, whether you accept it or not, what you are saying to the other person is that this is just as important or more important than you. Let me tell you guys a little story. So, a few years ago, I met this young lady a few years ago. Decided we're going to date. Now, before we started we were going to date, we had phone conversations. We talked for hours and hours and hours on end for about a week. Then we're finally going to meet each other, right? Now, the only reason why we hadn't met each other quicker is because I was out of town, but we decided we're going to meet each other. So then we have our meet. All right, hey, I'm coming. I'll be there. I'm coming over. All right. Get there. Now, my first thought was, okay, maybe my picture, I don't look as good in person as I do in the picture. Maybe that's what it is, and she's just not into me. So, cut the evening short. But then she invited me back. I'm thinking, why? And I said, okay, maybe it's a one-off situation. So I come back, appointed time. So I posed the question, why'd you invite me over here if this is what you're doing? She gave me some excuses, some rationales, her reasoning, but like I said, they were all excuses. And like a dummy, I tried to rectify the situation through conversation. Let's talk about it. Let's figure out what's going on here. Pretty much wasted some time dating someone who is more interested in this than this. So it ended. Now, I have a tendency to believe that either most people are addicted to it, or you're not that important to them, or it's a learned behavior, it's a habit that they need to break. But here's the thing about that I learned that is so vital, is that you can't force a person to do anything they don't want to do for themselves. That if a person doesn't choose to break this habit, it's not going to be broken. If a person doesn't choose to break the addiction, it's not going to be they're not going to break the addiction. And if this is more important than you, then you need to go. You need to leave. That person is not for you because they're just not that interested in you. I used to fall for the speech of a man should be able to bring out of a woman what it is he desires. I was told that malarkey. And I believed it for a long time. And I used to try it. I used to do everything within my power to try to get the woman that I was married to show me what she showed me before we got married. To be who she was before we got married. And it wasn't until it was said to me that after years and years and years of me consistently trying to embolden her, make her feel comfortable, make her feel in a safe, non-judgmental environment, that she can be that person, that she has the freedom to be it. So, before we got divorced in 2016, about 2 years prior, she says to me, I need you to do more so that I will feel like giving you the affection and the attention that you're asking for. Well, when that was said to me, I promptly moved my stuff out of the room, and within a few months we was in separate households, and then, Well, I own a business, so divorce took a couple years. But I had the epiphany at that moment. You see, I had been told that it was my responsibility, that if I wanted her to be as affectionate as I want her to be, if I wanted her to be as attentive as I wanted her to be, if I wanted her to be present in the relationship the way I want her to be present, then I have to draw that out of her. That the way she was when we was first dating is because I drew something out of her. And that once we got married, that it left because I wasn't drawing it out of her again. And I realized that that was a bunch of bull. Or as Shay like to say, some frackanacka bull. Because I can't draw nothing out of anybody. Only thing I can do is I can give you a safe pathway. I can give you a non-judgmental environment that says that if you choose to be this, you can. I can guide you into the understanding that if you say that you want to be in this relationship with me, then this is what's required. Not asked for, but required. Because without it, it's not going to be. It's not going to happen. It's not going to have a long-lasting relationship. You see, there was a young lady on a previous video. She had a comment, and what she said is that she is amazed at how many couples that she's come across that say that they had an affair with somebody because the other person was just nice to them. Just doing the things that are considerate and kind, just being nice, just showing them the proper attention, being present in their friendship that led to their adultership. It's not a word, I'm making it up. But being present in that. They transferred the friendship to the adultery by being present in the friendship that made them have a present moment of adultery. I can't draw nothing out of anybody. You can't force any woman to be anything that she doesn't want to be. If a woman doesn't want to be present in the relationship with you, then it's because she's choosing not to. And if you ladies are saying that you are not choosing this, yes, you are. The fact that you do not show the affection is you choosing. The fact that you pick up that daggone phone, you are choosing. The fact that you don't do the niceties, you don't respond to this or respond to that, you are choosing. And yes, ladies, I will say it the reverse. Dudes, if you're not showing her the kindness, if you're not showing her the consideration, if you're not showing her the support, if you're not showing her the things that she desires, then you are choosing not to. You are choosing against your relationship to which you claim that you want. And that's the funny part. The funny part is that most people would say that I want to be in a loving, caring, kind, considerate, romantic, intimate, sexual relationship. But then you don't do what's necessary to make it be that. And when you're told, you become defensive. You know, I was told something this morning about me and my relationship. I could have become defensive. And for a split second, I was like, that's not true. It's not comparable. But then I backed off of that. And I said, you know what? It doesn't matter what I think about it. That's how you feel. And since that's how you feel about it, then I will make the necessary adjustments, because it doesn't matter what I'm thinking and what I feel. What matters is what you're receiving. And if that's what you're receiving, then I acknowledge that and I'll make the adjustments. And you won't have to worry about that again. All right? You won't have to worry about that again. Right. Now, I'm not perfect, so I might slip up from time to time. But I am as perfect as I am saying this right now. I am going to be perfect. So many times people bring it to your attention, you get defensive, and you start feeling some kind of way. And then you take that negative feeling and you allow that to conjure up some stuff like, well, she always complaining, or he always complaining. Here's the thing. And I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Matter of fact, let me. If you spent more time actually doing what they're asking you to do, instead of getting angry about and calling it complaining, then they won't be doing it anymore and you'll have a great relationship. You see, If she says that you don't greet her with love and with a loving kiss every morning, or whenever you see her, or you just leave without giving her that big kiss goodbye, instead of you complaining about it, why don't you just start kissing her every morning like she's asking you to? Why don't you start giving her that big hug every morning, or whenever you see each other, or before you walk out that door? I don't care if you get all the way to your car, run your little happiness right back in the house and give her that hug and kiss and say goodbye like she asking you to, instead of you complaining about her complaining. Because all you're doing is creating a vicious cycle of negativity. So ladies, if he's telling you that he find you sexy and he want to see you in that lingerie, and he want to make sweet love to you, instead of you complaining and finding excuses of I'm tired, or I got to do this, or I got to do that, why don't you just put on the damn lingerie, do the sexy dance, and then make it so that he doesn't even consider that somebody else will go and do it for him. If she's saying that you don't help clean the house, instead of you making a big to-do about what your mama did and what your grandma did, get your tail in there and help clean the doggone house. If he complaining about the fact that you don't show him any affection, any intimacy, just when you're driving down the street holding on to his leg, rubbing the back of his head, shit, reach your hand over there and hold on to the back of the man's head. And stop sitting up there complaining and sitting in your misery. You see, I was married to a woman who said to me one time, don't you think I feel bad sitting up here laying in the bed knowing that you wanted to make love and we didn't? Then get your ass up and make love, instead of sitting there for hours worried and concerned about something that you didn't do when you could take 30 minutes to take care of the doggone thing. You see, we're spending so much time in the negative zone of what our little feelings. Oh, he complained about this. Oh, she complained about that. Oh, shut your whining tail up and just do it. Just do it. Or get out of the relationship. Just freaking do it. You'll be happier and you'll thank me for it. And remember, free yourself so you can be yourself, because your greatness is non-negotiable.